Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Your listening station.
You can contact us or just keep up to date with travel news at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show.
This is Seclo Sounds, your community radio station. If you'd like to volunteer some of your time and skills with Seclo Sounds, send an email to volunteers@seclosounds.org and let us know how you would like to be involved.
Woke up and the toilet was overflowing. Must call the plumber. Realised the kids needed swimming lessons as it's all got out of control. Luckily the old windows gave out, so we all floated outside. Must get on to the glazers. And now the garden looks atrocious. Now what was the number for that landscaper?
Because you never know when a potential customer needs you, get yourself listed in your local flyer, the local business directory. Your local flyer, bringing businesses to your fingertips.
The John Guinn Travel Show. Checking it out before you check in on seclosounds.org. Before the break, I was talking to Razvan about Romania. We're getting back on track now. We're going to find out a little bit more about the country. This time we're going to start focusing on the World Heritage Sites. You've got quite a few World Heritage Sites in Romania. How many is there and which one's your favourite?
Now this is a difficult question. We have 25 World Heritage Sites in Romania, and the favorite one for me are the walled cities of Transylvania, and I'm going to name Brașov, Sighișoara, Biertan, Sibiu. They were all built by German settlers in the around 15th century to defend against the Ottoman invaders. And you may also remember that city of Sibiu was the European capital of culture in 2007. So all these are in the south part of Transylvania, just before the Carpathian Mountains.
Okay. So I'll look out for the walled cities.
Yeah.
Food, as well as asking about cures for my baldness, I always ask about food as well. Is there a national dish in Romania, or does it depend on which part of the country you're in?
Well, it does depend, of course, on which part of the country you're in, but wherever you go in Romania, you cannot escape a dish called sarmale, which is a national dish of Romania, and basically it's kind of borrowed from the Turks, from the Ottomans. It's basically cabbage leaves, cabbage rolls, filled with minced meat and rice.
Okay.
So they are. I mentioned that they were borrowed from the Turks, but it's kind of a fusion cuisine. I mean, I personally think that we invented fusion cuisine way before it became fashionable, because we kind of borrowed from each neighbor some dishes and we transformed it into our own. So this sarmale that I was talking about, and it's widely considered as the national dish of Romania, it's served with chili peppers and with sour cream and also with polenta. Usually our neighbors that also make sarmale either fill them only with rice and nuts and not with meat, and serve them cold with olive oil. We serve them hot with sour cream, chili, and polenta. That's the national dish. And then, of course, you got variations in each region you go, and region-specific dishes. Like, for example, in Transylvania, you can find Transylvanian goulash, which is the same goulash that you can find in Hungary or in Austria or in other countries in Central Europe, but with a twist, because the Transylvanian goulash is thicker than the other ones. Then in Moldova, because it's so close to Russia, you can find borscht, which is also different from the borscht you can find in Russia, because we use sour cream with the borscht. And in the southern part of Romania, you find a lot of dishes, from kebabs to, I don't know, other dips that you can find in Turkey, for instance, or in Bulgaria. So all in all, you can visit the whole of Central and Eastern Europe just by visiting Romania, food-wise.
Food-wise, yeah. So
Yeah.
Romania's new strapline is the original home of fusion cooking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a bit hungry now, but I hear there's wine in Romania. How good is it?
There is wine in Romania. You can find in every region of the country different vineyards. Is it vineyards or vineyards?
Wine. I'll get it wrong too. I think I'll just say different places you can get wine. That always gets me through that. So, which is the best place to get it from in Romania?
Well, it depends on the personal preferences. We have very good red wine. We have very good white wine. Some people say that the region of Dobroja makes the best white wine in Romania. And then for the best red wine in Romania, you have to travel up to Moldova
Okay.
to find it there. But this being said, Transylvania is also really good in producing homemade red wine. And also Wallachia has quite a range of homemade red wines. But for general consumption and wine that you can find in supermarkets, it usually comes either from Dobroja, from the region by the Black Sea, or from Moldova.
I've also read that some people go to Romania for medical treatment. Does this happen, and what sort of treatments do people go for?
I am personally very proud of our medical heritage. But this is a subject that I'm not a specialist in. What I can say is that Romania has a third of Europe's thermal waters, like healing waters. There are many spa resorts all over the country, so many that we issued a brochure. The Romanian Tourist Board has a brochure on all the spa resorts in Romania. Just not to be confused, the spa resorts refer to medical treatments rather than beauty treatments. So a very large range of medical treatments to be had in Romania. And of course, the prices are way cheaper than in the West.
Yep. Okay.
And also talking about medical treatments in Romania, a lot of people travel to our country to get dental treatments because it's of the highest quality and the prices are really low.
You're listening to the John Guinn Travel Show on seclosounds.org. Still to come, there's travel news, including the story about how a law change in some states in the USA has altered the face of tourism to those states. But at the moment, I'm still speaking to Razvan about visiting Romania. We're now going to look at some itinerary ideas for those who want to go and visit. Looking at an itinerary for people now, we have one or two examples. I mean, if somebody was to do a fly drive to Romania, where would you recommend they go for a scenic drive?
Oh, definitely the walled cities that I mentioned. The distance between them is not that great, but the drive is really scenic. But for something really unique, I would recommend two roads. The one crosses the Carpathian Mountains from Wallachia into Transylvania, and it's called Transfăgărășan. It was built during the communist times, and it took tremendous effort and loss of life and everything, but the result is absolutely stunning. And this road, which travels at an altitude of more than 2,000 meters, it's one of the most famous in Romania, and unfortunately it's closed for most of the year. It's only open between the middle of June till the middle of August.
Okay.
And also there's another road called Transalpina, which travels the Carpathians. It's also at an altitude of more than 2,000 meters. And this Transalpina road was named by the Top Gear show as one of the best scenic rides in Europe. So Transfăgărășan and Transalpina.
Okay.
Just remember this word if you can.
You've already heard me try and pronounce things. There's no way I'm going to manage that. If a small family is going to pop to Romania, 2 adults, 2 children, what sort of trip and where would you recommend they stay?
Well, definitely a trip to Transylvania or a trip to the Danube Delta.
Yeah.
It depends if you want to just to see the nature and just to live for a few days in a nature paradise like the Danube Delta, or if you want to combine beautiful nature, mountains, forests, with a bit of history, a bit of culture, then you have to go to Transylvania.
Okay. A city break to Bucharest. What are the must-sees and do's, and what's the minimum amount of time you should spend if you go there for a city break?
I would say a weekend would be ideal. If you can start your weekend on Thursday night, would be better.
Okay.
The main attraction in Bucharest is, of course, the Palace of the Parliament that was built by Ceausescu, our former dictator.
Yeah.
Now, this is the largest building in Europe. It's the second largest building in the world after the Pentagon. Currently, it houses the Romanian Parliament. And it's just mind-blowing. There are organized tours every day with English-speaking guides that will tell you about the amount of marble that was used, the crystals that were used for the chandeliers, how many rooms, how many windows, and how many people it can host. It's really out of this world. But there's just one attraction. Bucharest has a hop-on, hop-off bus, which is a very good value at less than £5 per person. And it's valid for 24 hours, and you can visit all the main attractions. There's an English-speaking guide on the bus. And besides the House of the Parliament, the Palace of the Parliament, you can visit a village museum where you can see examples of village architecture from all over Romania. You can also visit the National Science Museum. You can visit the History Museum and the Modern Art Museum. All of them recently renovated, all of them very interesting. Apart from that, Bucharest has renovated, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm just using this word, renovated, quite a lot.
Yeah.
Because we had a long history of communism, where the past wasn't valued at all, and everything that was connecting with the Romanian past was not really something that they wanted to promote.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, everything is new. I mean, not new. Everything is renovated, and it looks really beautiful. And I was telling you about the old city of Bucharest, which is the central part of Bucharest. It used to be very old buildings there. Now it's transformed into a party part of Bucharest. Every building in the old city is either a restaurant, a bar, or a cafe, or a club. And Bucharest is the only capital city in Europe or in the European Union where you can party 24 hours because all the restaurants, all the bars are open 24 hours a day.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm getting to the age now to be in bed by 9.
Going home at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, you can party till the sun comes up.
I think that would kill me. I don't think I could handle the pace. Okay, so I never